What is going on, YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and yes, we are back with another video. I was actually tagged by Chris over at We Love Comics to do a comic book graded tag video where you're going to show most of the books in your collection graded from a 0.5 all the way up to a 9.8, so every grade possible if you have them. He tagged 3 people, me, Alex the Comic Hoarder, and I think Whodat. So I have to tag 3 people. So I'm going to tag Discovery Bay Comics, Two Brothers Comics, and I'm actually going to tag Dave from Comic Book Investments. That's right, brother. I know you have a ton of stuff you guys have on your website. Go ahead and show us anything from a 0.5 to a 9.8. Without further ado, let me get into this collection, guys. I have one 0.5 book. It is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man #1, the first Spider-Man in his own title. It's also the first appearance of the Chameleon as well. 1.5, and the reason why it's a 0.5 is because it's missing the back cover. I was happy that they gave me a blue label like I asked them to, but regardless, I picked this up a few years back for like $2,000, $2,200. Well worth the investment, even though it is missing the back cover. So that's the 1.5 book that I have, a big one. The next book I have is a 1.0. I only have one 1.0 copy of any book, and that is, of course, my Journey into Mystery number 83. The first appearance of Thor. Now, I bought this book a few years back as well from Metropolis Collectibles. Raw, had it graded, came back a 1.0. I thought it should have been a little bit higher, but I'll take it for the amount I paid for it. I think I paid around the same price, $2,000. So I'm not going to complain. But either way, the only 1.0 I have in my collection. Now, I have a bunch of 1.8s. I can't even show you all of them. So the first one I have is an Avengers 4. First Silver Age appearance of Captain America, signed by Stan Lee, with a nice Captain America, CGC holder, which is nice. I picked this one up, I think, about a year ago for a decent price. Don't remember what I paid, but it was definitely under market value. So that's the first 1.8. I have an Amazing Spider-Man #3, the first appearance of Dr. Octopus, in a clean 1.8. Looks really nice. And, of course, I have another biggie, my Incredible Hulk #1, the first appearance of the Hulk with, of course, the Hulk label on it. There is tape on the cover, which, to be honest, I can't even see on this book. It's a little bit right here on the edge. Other than that, this is a nice clean copy. Sorry for the glare, guys, but again, I have a lot of 1.8s. I actually have an Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1 as well. I didn't break out. You could see it kind of on the wall back there. You can see all the books gone because I took them down to do this video. Again, I have a lot of books in the 2.0 range as well, like 4 or 5 books and some massive keys. The first being an Avengers #1. Again, another book I purchased off of eBay, actually, and had it graded, came back a 2.0. There's tape on this cover as well. Off the top of my head, I think I paid like $800 for this, but again, it was so long ago, I don't remember. This book was probably one of my biggest pickups ever. I paid $2,400 for it. Fantastic Four #5, the first appearance of Doctor Doom. And again, tape on cover and interior cover, no big deal. Another massive key I have in a 2.0, but it gets better than that. At a 2.0 range, a lot of these biggies I have. An X-Men #1 in a 2.0. Again, with the notes, small piece out of margin of 15th and 16th page. But either way, a clean book otherwise. And the 2.0s were my biggest books, guys. And a copy of Tales of Suspense #39. Again, covers detached, but other than that, a beautiful copy of this major key. 2.0, 1.8, those are my sweet spots for these major books, guys. I think that's where it's at least for me. Oh, so where do we go from here? I got to turn this way, sorry. At a 2.5, I have the first appearance of the Vulture, Amazing Spider-Man #2. Got this book off of eBay as well. You can see the little chunk missing here, but other than that, off-white pages as well. Let's see, do I have anything else in a 2.5? Of course I do. The biggest book I own, I forgot. Amazing Fantasy #15, signed by the great Stan Lee. There's a great story behind this one, guys. I drove up to Rhode Island to pick this book up. Up to Rhode Island to pick this book up in person, and it was probably one of the greatest experiences I've had. And this, what I paid for what it's worth now, of course it was a great, investment as well. That's the word I'm looking for. So I'm going to actually just bring these all over here because there is a lot, man. Holy crap. All right, you ready? 3.0. First one I'm going to show you is an Amazing Spider-Man number 20, the first appearance of the Scorpion. Another 3.0 book I have is an Amazing Spider-Man number 15, first appearance of Kraven the Hunter, one of my favorite Spider-Man characters. We're going to jump into a 3.5, a bunch of massive keys as well. The first one I'm going to go show you is Amazing Spider-Man number 6, the first appearance of the Lizard in a 3.5. Amazing Spider-Man number 14, the first appearance of the Green Goblin. I think I paid like $1,200 for this book. I don't even know what it's at now. It's got to be over $2K. But another great 3.5. And a book that I just picked up about a month ago. Another massive key, guys. Daredevil number 1, signed by Charlie Cox, the actor who plays Daredevil in the MCU now. So I got a good deal in this book, so I had to pick it up. Some people poo-pooed on the fact that they had an actor sign it, but I don't care. I thought it was awesome. It's one of a kind that I haven't seen anybody else have this book, so I picked it up. Cool book to have in the collection, a 3.5. We're going to jump into a 4.0. Another grade 4.0 is one of my favorite grades to buy books at, especially for the Silver Age. I think you get the most bang for your bucks. Anybody watching this video, take that into consideration, okay? Fantastic Four, number 49, the first appearance of Galactus. Second Silver Surfer as well. Of course, no introduction needed on this book. Incredible Hulk number 181, the first full appearance of Wolverine. The better cover of the two, regardless, either way. I got this in a trade with someone. I don't remember his name, but I traded a really low-grade copy of a Daredevil 1 before that book blew up, so I was really pissed at myself once that book started to go, but like I said, I did add one to the collection after that. And speaking of that book, in a 4.0, another copy of Daredevil number 1, The Man Without Fear. This one is a nice CGC blue label, off-white pages. I picked this book up a couple years back with an Amazing Spider-Man number 129. I paid the total of $2,500 for both of them. That was one of the best investments I ever made, because this book right now, I want to say, is $4,500, around that price range. This book is blown up. At a 4.5 level, I have a lot of books as well. I think I only broke out 3 of them. Incredible Hulk, number 180, the first cameo of Wolverine. Again, with a nice Wolverine logo at the top. You could see the subscription crease there that I tried to press out, and it came out a little bit, but it looks like it came back. So, regardless, that book could definitely get cracked and repressed and sent back in. I also have in a 4.5 Amazing Spider-Man number 13, the first appearance of Mysterio. And of course, one of my favorites, Amazing Spider-Man number 50, the first appearance of the Kingpin. This is one of 3 copies I have of this book. Definitely one of my favorite covers. Whenever I talk about this book, I talk about the trifecta. If you guys don't watch my channel, classic cover, first appearance of the Kingpin, and amazing storyline, Spider-Man No More. So that's the trifecta of this book. That's why I own 3 copies. I'm actually down from 4. Had to get rid of one once I saw Kingpin show up. I apologize. There's one more 4.5 book, and it's the best 4.5 book. It is another copy of Incredible Hulk number 181, the first full appearance of Wolverine. This one is actually signed by Roy Thomas. So CGC witnessed Roy Thomas' signature. All right, 5.0. I actually only have one 5.0 book, guys. So sorry about the video quality here. It goes in and out when I'm moving books around. Regardless, I have a Tomb of Dracula number 10, signed by Marv Wolfman. You guys see that? I hope so. Video quality hasn't adjusted yet. There we go. 5.0, signed by Marv Wolfman. Again, not a green label, because I asked them to do a blue label for me, and there you go. Got it in a 5.0. My only 5.0 book, I believe. 5.5, I have a Batman number 227, signed by the great Neil Adams. One of my favorite covers of all time, and I actually think this looks great in a yellow label. Beautiful. I actually want him to sign my 251, so if I ever get that, witnessed and then send off to CGC as well and get that yellow label as well. I think they'll pair nicely together. But again, a 5.5. But I always save the best graded books for last, and I have a Marvel Spotlight number 5, the first appearance of Ghost Rider, in a 5.5 as well. Huge book right now. One of the biggest Bronze Age books ever. But right now, this is the book to buy, in my opinion, for 2022. If you don't own a copy, try to find one for a decent price, because I'm trying to find another copy, and they're just outrageous right now. But a huge book to get if you can right now. 6.0, I have one book, believe it or not. One book. And that is a copy of Iron Fist number 14, the first appearance of Sabretooth. Again, anybody who's been watching my channel knows I'm specking on this book big time. You can still get a 7.5 for like around 500 bucks. Pick that book up if you can, and then 6.0 is even cheaper than that. And of course, I got the nice Wolverine logo on that as well. So I don't have a 6.5, guys. We're going to skip over that grade. I don't have a 6.5 in the collection, unfortunately. I do have a 7.0, and it is a big one. It is a copy of Giant Size X-Men number 1, the first appearance of the new X-Men team, but also the second appearance of Wolverine. Now, I got a great deal on this book from my LCS. I got it raw, had it graded, came back to 7.0. The only thing that was wrong with this book was that it was about 1.5 inch tear on the back cover. Had a press after the fact, and it came back to 7.0 white pages, which I'm super happy about. Again, got a great deal on this one as well. One of two 7.0 books I have in my collection, but I only showed you that one. 7.5, I only have, I think, 2 or 3. I chose to show you guys Marvel Premiere number 15, the first appearance of, what's this dude's name? I'm drawing a blank here. Iron Fist, duh. It's on the freaking cover. Regardless, 7.5. I think I picked that book up for like 125 bucks back in the day. And again, another copy at 7.5 of Iron Fist number 14, first appearance of Sabretooth. I have 3 copies of this book, believe it or not. And it's all different grades, but that's my best copy in a 7.5. 8.0, one of my favorite books right now, is of course Amazing Spider-Man number 194, the first appearance of Felicia Hardy, the Black Cat. One of my favorite Bronze Age books. Again, another beautiful copy of this book. I actually can't wait for Felicia Hardy to show up in a Spider-Man movie. You have no idea. I've been waiting for it forever. I'm happy to pick this one up in an 8.0. Again, another one of my prized possessions because one of my favorite characters. Amazing Spider-Man number 129, the first appearance of the Punisher. Again, this is that book that I got with the Daredevil that I paid $2,500 total for both of those books. Huge pickup for me. It was like 3 years ago when I first got back into the collecting. For those of you guys who don't know, I am the self-proclaimed Amazing Spider-Man 129 King. So, there you go. Believe it or not, I don't have an 8.5 and I don't have a 9.0 in the collection, right? As I'm doing this, I'm like wondering, wow, I don't have a lot of different grades. A lot of the grade books I have, they're all around the same grades. It says something about me and how I collect. So take that for what it's worth. I have a bunch at 9.2. We're going to start with Secret Wars number 8. This is the origin of the black costume. Again, I've had this book in my collection since I was like in the teens. It was raw, had it pressed. Sent it to CGC, came back at 9.2. To go in line with that, I have an Amazing Spider-Man number 252, the first appearance of the black costume in the main title. Again, a 9.2 white pages as well. This is a newsstand, which I actually never noticed until now. So there you go. This book was actually on a Hot 10 list breakdown I just did, guys. If you haven't checked out that video, go ahead. I'll actually leave the link at the end of this video as well. This book is actually going up the charts right now, so check it out. And my best book in a 9.2 is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 300, signed by the great Todd McFarlane with the nice Venom logo right there. Again, this book I paid $400 for maybe about a year and a half ago. Super happy I picked this one up when I did. I probably owned a lot of grades of this copy in the past, but I decided to keep this one because I had the Todd signature, and to me that was more important than the grade of the book. As long as you can pick this book up in a 9.2 or higher, I'm happy, guys. Most of the Copper Age books right now, outside of like the massive ones like TMNT 1 or Albedo 2, you want to pick up in a 9.0, 9.2 or higher. That's just my opinion. Some of these keys in the Copper Age are starting to pick up, speed right now because the Bronze Age books are really starting to price themselves out of the market right now. Silver Age has gone crazy. The Bronze Age keys have gone up way a lot since the past year. So the Copper Age now, 9.2 or higher that we're going to stick to, okay? We're talking about modern books. I'm saying 9.6 or 9.8 only. That's my advice. That's what I always say. That's how I pick up. I have no books in a 9.4, believe it or not. None. I have one book in a 9.6. It is a copy of Marvel Now .1, the first appearance of, what is this? Ms. Marvel, Kamala Khan, the new Miss Marvel. So, believe it or not, this is my only book in a 9.6. And rounding out the list, guys, is I have no books in a 9.8. How do you like that? Zero, zilch. just to show you guys, like, it means like I'm not a modern collector, right? I'm not going to pay up for a 9.8 copy of an older book, and I'm only going to buy a 9.6 or a 9.8 of a modern book, and I don't collect too many modern books. I have, like I said, the copy of the Miss Marvel and the new, and I have 2 raw copies, Edge of Spider-Verse 2 and, of course, Ultimate Fallout 4, which I will send in to get graded at some point, but I don't think they're 9.8s regardless. They're probably around 9.4s or 9.6s. I'm hoping they're both 9.6s. That's why I bought them, but regardless. So this is my tag video, guys. Thank you, Chris, for tagging me in this. Of course, watch the other tag videos. I'm going to drop a link to this video in Chris We Love Comics, comments, so hopefully he'll post it for you guys so you guys can watch this. But other than that, I tagged 3 guys, and hopefully they'll do them and they'll tag 3 other people. So that's it. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.